Good evening, everyone. Good evening. I am your host, Karina, and we are live from the garden. I am so excited about the day. I wake up excited. I know I say that every week. I'm excited. I really am excited. I am always excited to tour our guests' gardens and see fun and exciting, creative, different ways to grow. So without further ado, I want to go ahead and introduce my new friend, Tien, and she is from the Delectable.Day garden in Miami. Tien, how are you doing? I know we thought we were going to have some weather challenges, but I prayed, you prayed, and we have nice sunny weather today.
Yay! I know I've been worried that it's going to rain out on us, but the sky is okay. It's not going to rain until later. So we're good.
Good. So introduce yourself, tell us where we can find you, and tell us something special about yourself.
So I'm mostly on Instagram, Delectable.Day. And something special about myself. I'm a registered dietitian.
That is exciting because you can really tie in the importance of growing your own food and the difference that it makes in your diet and the health of your family and the health of your community as well, right?
Right.
Okay, so let's jump right in. What experience led you to gardening? Is there one aha moment or one experience that you recall that led you to gardening?
Yes. So when I was working in Boston, I was working at a community health center. And one of the community outreach program I did was this event at a local school. And they had they set up a station to help kids build their own herb garden. And so at the end of the event, there was like extra herbs and pots left over. So the person that ran the program said, help yourself, take some home. And at the time, we live in Boston and we had just like a small balcony. And I took it home, I put it in a planter, and we were growing just herbs at the time. But to be able to step out into our balcony and pick whatever herbs we need, I was hooked. Like both my husband and I were hooked. So we started growing stuff on our balcony. And it was not until we moved back to Miami that we have more space to grow more things. But we started out just in our balcony.
That's one of the reasons that I really love our show, is because I really want people to see you can garden with any size garden. You don't have to have a backyard. You don't have to have a lot of space. You can do it in your windowsill. You can do it on your rooftop. And as you and I do, we grew it in pots, right? And I still grow in pots because our HOA controls the landscaping. Those people handle our lawn, and they put pesticides and harmful chemicals. And so I grow in pots at home. Everything that I grow is in a pot. Let's talk about your family's connection to farming. I understand that you did come from a family of growers or farmers or people that had experience with the land. Can you talk to us about that?
So my family is originally from Vietnam, rural Vietnam. We were surrounded by rice paddies, like rice fields. And then we had like sugarcane farms, peanut, taro, and then orchard, like the tropical fruit orchard. They have like durian, they have long yan, like all around where I grew up. Mm-hmm. But my family also kind of dabble in farming. So I remember as a kid when my parents grew peanuts and we would go up to the farm when it's time to harvest. I remember that. Everybody around us farm, and when it's time to harvest, they would load the harvest on an ox with like the wagon in the back. It wasn't like truck or anything like this. And I remember as a kid, whenever, especially during sugarcane season, whenever the people haul the sugarcane past our house, all the kids would run out and like ask them to throw down a bundle, and they would throw down a bundle for us. But we grew up surrounded by farms, so different types, like the tropical variety stuff.
And have you actually tried to grow peanuts? That's something that I wanted to explore. Have you grown peanuts here?
Funny story about that. I actually don't grow peanuts, but they grow in my garden. And the reason is the squirrels. I don't know where they got it, but they farm peanuts all over our garden. I see them popping up everywhere. Like in the raised bed, they would dig up my seedling and tuck peanuts in there. And I have no idea where they got it, but they farm it all over our yard. So sometimes they mature and I harvest peanuts from the garden, but it's because the squirrel farmed them.
Wow. And so you can harvest them. How exciting. What time of the year do you usually harvest peanuts?
I think I have a few right now that's not mature yet. Usually I think in the summer. But around this time of the year, they start tucking them all over the garden. They'll dig up my seedling and like start planting it everywhere. And then like around late summer, then I can pull up and we'll get like a handful of like fresh peanuts. All thanks to the
And do they taste different?
Oh, it's so much better than I love like fresh peanuts, like boiled fresh peanuts is so good. I mean, most of the time you just boil with like salted water, but if you put like Cajun seasoning, it's so good.
That yummy. This was supposed to be my year to start growing peanuts. I believe, like you said, it tastes totally different. The tastes totally different. And I've had fresh peanuts, but I've never grown them. Do you recall your first harvest that made you feel like, hey, I kind of know what I'm doing. I might be a real farmer, a real grower. Do you recall that experience?
I think it probably would be tomatoes, especially in our zone, growing like heirloom tomatoes too, because you have to prune them, watch out for the critters and everything like that. So to be able to grow like heirloom tomato in our garden is an accomplishment for me. It just tastes amazing, homegrown.
That is the one thing I would say that tastes totally different than from what you buy in the store or even what you get from restaurants.
Yeah.
Once I started growing tomatoes and tasted a real tomato, if I go out to eat or something, I say no tomatoes. Like, don't spoil my meal with that watered down, no taste, no salty, savory taste. Just keep them off. So tomatoes are one of the things that I would actually say that really, really, really tastes different than what you buy in the store. Wouldn't you agree?
Our growing season is like from October to April. Outside of that time frame, I don't buy tomato at all. I use the one that I dry or saved from the growing season. I'm hoping this year I have enough to save for when it's not growing, but I don't buy tomatoes outside of that time frame.
So do you make like sun-dried tomatoes?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
And so how do you do that?
We have a dehydrator. I just stick it in the dehydrator. But whenever I cook with it, I rehydrate it, or you can marinate it in oil and garlic and herbs and spices too. But sometimes I just eat it as a snack. It's the sugar content just concentrated, and it's really sweet.
Wow. Okay, so I'll have to try that as well. Peanuts and then dehydrating tomatoes is what my goals are this year.
Yeah.
All right. So let's not keep the people waiting. Let's start the tour. Tell us the city where you're located so we know what we're looking at.
Okay.
Or where we're at.
So I am located in Miami. Our growing zone is 10B. It started out just with 2 raised bed, and over time it just kind of sprawl out, and I've slowly taken over my husband's lawn. He doesn't have a lawn anymore. So I'm gonna flip the phone around so you can see.
And why you flip that? Did y'all hear that? She started with 2 beds and then progressed to taking over the whole entire homestead. So she's got some vertical gardens right there. Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. I'm excited about this. This is Greenstock garden. They have like a self-watering base right here. So I'm really excited to try that out. So here I have a bunch of like succulents, non-edibles, but most of my edibles are around here. I have here a star fruit tree. There's some flower here.
Did you buy that or did you start from seed?
The city of Miami does the thing where they let you adopt a tree. And I actually got this tree from one of their their Adopt a Tree event.
And do you know the reasoning behind that initiative? I've not heard of Adopt a Tree here in Houston.
To plant more green, so that we have more green, provide shades and things like that. Because we're in Miami and it's really hot, and the tree really helps with like shading and cooling down. Here on the vine right here is a Tonkin jasmine. It's an edible flower. It's not flowering right now, but it's yellow and it has like a lemony fragrance to it. It's really nice in like stir fries and soup. Here's my star fruit. They just finished fruiting and they're flowering again. This one is a kale that I actually planted a season ago. So it survived our summer. And our summer is like super brutal. I mean, it's hot and humid, but this one, because of the shade, it lasted through the summer until now. And then we have here chive, garlic chive. They grow year round for us down here. Then I have some basil. We have papaya.
Oh wow! Did you start that from seed, or was that a tree that you purchased?
It's from seed. I just have seeds from one of the papaya tree, and I just kind of tossed it in the yard, and they just sprout. And then I pick and choose which one I want to keep, and this was one of the ones that made it.
Wow! And you just threw the seed in the ground, and it just started growing.
Yep. We have here another kale that is from last year. I have here a pineapple that a friend had given to me. And then I have cranberry hibiscus.
Cranberry, is that edible?
Yes.
And what do you do with it?
The flower, you can use the leaf too. It has a tart, it makes a pinkish color tea.
Mm-hmm.
You can use the leaves to garnish salad too if you want. But they pretty much grow year round for me. And then I have some Japanese greens. And then this is my guava tree. I bag them because we get Caribbean fruit flies. So if I don't bag them, they lay eggs in there. And then you end up with extra protein in your guava.
Oh, yummy.
So this is one of my main beds. Right now I have Bolton mustard. There's some carrots in the back. Oh, this right here is a curry leaf.
And do you cook with that?
Yeah, you cook with that. I use it to garnish curry. It has a really pleasant smell.
Do you dry it and grind it, or you just put it on top of your dishes?
I just put it on top because we have so many, that I don't really do that. We have cilantro here that's Bolton. This is Ethiopian kale.
Ethiopian kale? Do you have the leaves? I want to see that closer. The
sure.
Leaves of Ethiopian kale?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They're Bolton right now, but they'll grow in our summer heat too. They're pretty heat tolerant. It's actually a variety of mustard, but it's called Ethiopian kale.
And does it taste like a kale or does it taste like a mustard?
It's a really mild mustard taste. It's very similar to me. For me, it tastes like one of those. I forgot the variety of kale, but it's very similar to a variety of kale. I can show you later in the front, but it's very mild mustard flavor. And then I have dill here. My eggplants, they're kind of struggling right now. This is my white eggplant. This is the other bed. We were having issues with iguanas.
You told me about that. Tell us about those iguanas.
Yeah, so we have iguanas eating. They go in and they would eat all my leafy greens. So my husband was trying to help me. He put this thing on so that I can cover it. But so far, I think because it's the winter time and they're kind of like in hibernation, I guess. So I haven't seen them eating anything in the garden yet. But I'm pretty sure when the weather warms up, they'll come back. These are daikon. They're basically giant radishes. So I have daikon here.
I wanted to I want to see that again because I said I was going to try to grow one of those. Those radishes were huge. I've never seen anything. I've never seen anything like that. The closest thing I've ever seen like that are like the Easter egg radishes.
Okay, so I'm gonna see if I can pull it up so I can show you. Oh, I broke it.
Wow, you broke it and it's still that large?
Oh, here.
You still even broke another piece.
Yeah, I did.
Wow, what do they taste like?
It has a mild radish flavor. I think like I don't think I can get that one out.
Can you hold it up, hold the big piece up that you did get out?
Yeah.
Wow.
Actually, I think I have more. Let me see if I can pull that one out for you. Here, maybe I have better luck with this one.
That is huge.
Yeah, I broke it too.
You broke that one too. Okay, don't break anymore. I don't want to break your food up. That is huge. And does it taste similar to a radish? Wow.
Yes. So it's really, I think, in my opinion, it's a little milder than the small like radishes, and it's has a sweet. At first, it's kind of sweet, and then like spicy at the end. I use it a lot in our pickles to make pickles.
Do you know what kohlrabi tastes like?
Yes.
Is it kind of similar to that or no?
No. Yeah, it's like a milder version of a regular radish that you would get, like the sparklers and the icicles.
Okay.
That they grow really big.
Okay.
Oh, and this is another really interesting one. This is wild Cosmo, and you can eat the flower and the leaves. Like this is a mature plant, so I wouldn't be eating the leaves on this one, but I can eat the flower, and it has a really interesting flavor. It tastes to me just like young mangoes.
And so how do you use them? You put them on a salad? How do you use that?
Yep. I use the flower to garnish salad. The leaves, the same thing. The leaves, I use it as part of like an herb salad. Here are more Ethiopian kale. That's Bolton. There's the seed pods.
And do you take your seeds?
Yes.
Oh, awesome.
Here is culantro.
Culantro?
Yep.
Wow.
It's just like cilantro, but the fragrance is more intense.
And is that an Asian? Where does that originate from? Like
I don't remember exactly where, but it's pretty popular in South American culture, in like Hispanic culture. They use it to make sofrito. And then we also use it to garnish soup and things like that. But it's really thorny. This is the flower stalk, and I don't know if you can see the edge. They have like a little spike that really pokes. The leaf itself doesn't do that, but it's just the flower stalk. And I'm super excited about this variety of pepper right here. It's a Korean pepper. They call it Lady Hermit, and I'm just starting to get a few of them. So I'm really excited about this one. This one is Ciso, and like the wild Cosmo, I use the leaf in an herb salad, like spring rolls, salad wraps and stuff like that. I would toss all these herbs together.